Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. Today we're doing a full face of first impressions. That includes the brows, everything on the face, everything on the eyes, and for the most part everything on the lips. This is like the final look that I came up with, and I'm sorry I'm so like washed out. It's like a super cloudy day outside, and this light over on this side is like super bright. But there's no window or anything over here, so sorry about that. This is the look that I came up with. So if you guys want to know how I got this, what my first impressions are of these products, then just keep on watching. So let's just go ahead and start with like the first product. I think it's about to rain, and so this should be interesting. So the first product is the Urban Decay Optical Illusion Complexion Primer. It's the pore perfecting one, and all it says on the directions is apply all over skin before foundation or powder. And on the box what it says: instantly blur flaws as you perfect and smooth your skin. It reduces fine lines and makes pores seem vanish for a gorgeous porcelain-like texture. Makeup not only goes on better, but also lasts longer. Our cushioning formula contains optical blurring pigments along with conditioning ingredients like rosehip and argan oil. So I'm just going to apply some to the back of my hand, like 2 pumps. It's like a light pink cream. It's a little thick, but I'm just applying it first on like the sides of my nose, my cheeks, where I like get the most pores, and this feels like more of a paste really. And of course on the nose, I found if I like add like a pore blurring, pore smoothing primer, it's a little better. And I'm also going to take it on my forehead. I also took like half a pump underneath the eyes because I do have fine lines under there. And what I found is that I use like a pore perfecting, pore blurring primer underneath that like fills in those lines so concealer and stuff doesn't crease as much. I'm going to go on to foundation, and for that we'll be trying the Ulta Beauty HD Soft Focus Liquid Foundation. I was gonna read like product descriptions and stuff, but don't want this video to be a million years long, so I'm actually gonna shake it up first. And I got the shade Light Warm. Supposed to be a natural finish, maybe a little dark, but we'll work with it. So I'm just gonna start just a pump, just so that it doesn't go all over my hand, but I put it on the back of my hand, and I'm using the Real Techniques sponge to blend it onto my skin. I can't really tell if it has like a fragrance to it. I am breaking out, and this isn't really covering it. We'll cover that with concealer afterwards. But about a pump covered about my right side, and it's not super full coverage in any way. It does so far have like a natural finish. It's like blending into like skin, but it is like a little dark for me. But when is foundation never too dark for me? But this was like the lightest shade that I could find that had my undertone. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's not covering all of these like blemishes. I'm just gonna apply it straight to the beauty blender, well, sponge, and see if that will make any difference. I don't know why, but like foundation never wants to like go on my nose. I think we're good on the foundation. Did not cover everything, but I do have quite a bit of redness, so maybe color correcting before would help just a little bit. It does look quite natural, but I am just gonna let it sit, like set into the skin. So while that happens, we're gonna go on to the eyes. But first I'm gonna moisturize my lips, and we're gonna start with eyebrows. For that we're gonna be using the e.l.f. gel and powder eyebrow kit in the shade Light. It says on the back of the box, create fuller, thicker, and more defined looking brows. Shapes and sets your eyebrows. Directions: use an angled brush to apply the brow gel to define and shape. use blending brush to set color in place with the brow powder. So I've already opened this and it did come with like a brush. I got rid of that. So instead we're going to be using my Anastasia number 18 brush. It's this small one. And what I use with brow powders is I go in with some like eye drops. I just get like the powder a little more saturated, almost turning it into a pomade, so it's like easier to work with and the color is more intense. So I just add like a few drops into the powder. We're gonna outline them first, the bottom then the top, and then fill them in. What I'm finding with this brow powder is it doesn't want to stay wet. It dries really fast. I do use this technique. At least I have to keep adding more just to get it like a cream almost. I mean, it's a natural brow. It's more natural brow for me. As in like the color. I like a super bold brow. That's just how I like it. Maybe not be for everyone. Now that we have the brows done, let's go on to the eyes. So we're gonna first prime the lids with this product, the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion, just the original. I usually prime my lids with concealer. I'm just gonna apply some to each eyelid. This feels like it's more on like the oily side. We're definitely gonna have to set this down. And I know that like back in like the OG like beauty YouTube days, this was like a cult favorite for everyone. I'm gonna go into the powder that we'll be using for like our face, the Kat Von D Locket setting powder in translucent. I'm just gonna take a Bogashi illuminator brush and just set that so that way we can blend shadows on top more easily. I don't know if it's the powder or the eye primer, but something has glitter. And it could also just be like this brush. I'm really confused at this moment. Now that we have that set, time to go on to the eyeshadow. And for that, I'm using the Makeup Revolution and SophX eyeshadow palette. And I think that SophX and Makeup Revolution collaborated together. I don't know if she or he or whoever is a YouTuber, Instagrammer, just so that we're not wrong. Well, let's look this up. When I Google SophX, it just comes up with images of her highlighter palette and eyeshadow palette. I'm not entirely sure, but let's just go ahead and go in with eyeshadow. I'm gonna actually zoom guys up a little. I'm gonna go into a mixture of pancakes and iced coffee, blend those two together as my transition shade. And now I'm gonna go into a Bogashi tapered blending brush and the shades Cup of Tea and Peaches, these two, and mix them together. So we're doing like a classic matte look, a classic beach matte look. So that's just the vibe I get from this palette. And we're just like testing the shades out, the colors, the formula, all that fun stuff. I don't know if I'm picking up more of the shade Cup of Tea or what, but they're kind of blending a little more on like the brown side. I think I'm now gonna go in with an e.l.f. crease brush, this shade, which I believe is the shade Pumpkin. Sorry for the lighting, it's washing everything out. If you want even lighting, things are going to have to be washed out, at least for me, with this setup. Ooh, I just like deepened it. I'm gonna go back into my Wet n Wild crease brush with no extra product and just blend everything. Then I'm gonna go in with a Bogashi eyeshadow brush in the shade Peaches. Apply that to the lid. And I love this brush for putting color on the lid. It's like fluffy but dense at the same time. I think I might just take the same brush into the shade Pink Champagne. Just apply it to like the center of the lid. I mean, it's not going to be like super pale like what it is in the palette. Either add some Matte Fix Plus or eye drops you'll get that more foiled look. Let's add some mascara into that. Tarte Lights Camera Lashes mascara. I have tried like the sample size of this it was in one of my Ipsy bag videos. I really like that. But let's see how full size, because I feel like sometimes full size and travel size, their formulas and brushes differ. Maybe crazy, but I mean, this is a good mascara. It's not giving me the length that I want. I'm gonna leave it at that. And let's go on to the rest of the face. For concealer, we have two to try. And supposedly they're dupes for each other. I'm gonna use them for like two different purposes. Just because one is a little darker than the other. Not by much, but because this foundation is a little tad dark. To cover up all these blemishes, even though as the foundation has set, there's more pigment come up, and these are kind of like, they're a little more covered and touching the skin, like it doesn't feel tacky in any way. This is in the shade C2, the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer. That's what I'm going to be using on blemishes. I don't know if this one dries super fast, so I'm just going to do like the bottom half first, just so that it does dry super fast. Not sitting here for hours trying to blend it out. It does have some good coverage. I think it does dry kind of fast. So a good thing just did the bottom half, or else we would be here for hours. Now for the top half. Now that we have the concealer, our face concealer blended out, I'm now going to go into under eye concealer, and for that I'm going to go in with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Fair, and I'm going to just do one eye at a time, just because, again, if it does dry fast, we can work. I've added a little too much. And this is super light. Probably not the best concealer shade to be testing out with this foundation shade, but we are looking a little brighter at this moment in time. Just so we can lighten up the rest of our face, because it's a really bright under eye. I'm actually just gonna apply some to the center of the face. Literally, foundation came off the center of my nose. I would say be careful when opening it because it can splatter places, and concealer on clothing is a blank to get out. It's a pain. Now that we have concealer on and we're looking a little ghostly now, I'm gonna go in the Lock-It setting powder from Kat Von D, and we're going to bake our under eyes. Well, we're gonna bake our face. I know we look so cute right now. But while this is baking, I just want to say one quick little thing, and is that if you guys want to know everything that I got during the Sephora VIB sale and the Ulta like spring sale, go ahead and click the link down below. It'll take you to my blog, and I'll have everything that I got during that haul, not only what's I'm trying today, but also anything else that I bought, and there'll be other like reviews. You can like see every product that I use in my videos, anything like that, anything beauty related. But I'm now just taking my Luxie Precision foundation brush to dust off all the baking. You guys ever get like hairs, like your hair in your makeup brushes? Because that happens to me all the time. Now I'm gonna go in with like my giant powder brush to set the rest of my face. That way when we go to add bronzer, blush, all that fun stuff, it won't skip on the foundation and we're looking quite pale. The only thing that sucks about loose powders is that it gets all over, and when you're wearing all black. Let's go on to some bronzer. And for that, we have the Essence Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder in the shade 1 Natural. This is for like the lighter skin tone. It smells a little bit like coconut, which I'm not a huge fan of. And we're gonna bronze up the skin. This is a pretty color. I don't know if it's everyone's skin, but when I put on concealer and stuff, it like takes off the foundation that's underneath it. I could just be crazy. Let me know if that's happened to you. This bronzer is really pretty. For blush, the Essence Satin Touch blush in the shade Satin Coral. On the back of here it says Satin Soft Blush for a fresh looking complexion all day long. I'm taking that on my Luxie 514 blush brush. And this blush is a little pigmented. Before we go on to highlight, I'm going to finish the eyes, and for that I'm just going to take Peaches on the Ogashi brush on the lower lash line, like taking it on the tip. Some mascara on the lower lashes that I don't like a lot. And now what I think is the star of the show. This is the Too Faced Love Light Prismatic Highlight in Blinded by the Light. Don't know how I remember that name, probably because when you see this on the skin, you'll just feel like jaw-dropping. This is like wet. It is beautiful. Morphe M501. But when I was picking this out, I was in Ulta trying to find a highlight. Looking at drugstore, high-end. I was even comparing it to Laura Geller. On my hand, I was looking at all of them, and this one was like the most wet looking of them all. And that was like compared to like Laura Geller, Becca, any highlight you could think of. Yeah. Do we see this glow? If you're my skin tone, you will love this because it just blends into the skin. I'm in love. We have two more things left. One being finishing these brows. Just adding the Essence Make Me Brow. I've tried this before but in a different color. This is in the shade Browny Brows. And this will give me the intense brow that I love. Now lips. I'm using the NYX Slim Lip Pencil in the shade Rose, I believe. I'm just going to line and fill in my lips. This is pink. That is pink. Just because this lip doesn't really go with it, just to make it more on like the brown side, I'm gonna go in with Wet n Wild Mega Last Lipstick, I think, in that Bare It All. Just to add more brown to this lip because it's too pink for this look. We have one last step, and that is to set the makeup. I don't remember the last time I used like a setting spray. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Natural Finish Setting Spray. So let's set this face. But that's my first impression of all these products that I got from the Sephora VIB sale and the Ulta Spring haul. Those two sales during the same weekend, like every makeup girl or guy's dream. Any makeup lover's dream. If you guys like this video, go ahead and subscribe to my channel or give a thumbs up or both. If you guys have any video requests, you can leave them in the comments down below or at me on my social media, which is all under Sassy Baddie YT, same as spelled here, both Twitter and Instagram. Also, don't forget to check out my blog, Sassy Beauty Blog, where you'll find everything that I used in this video, along with any other products that I got during the two sales. For the question of the day, I want to know, out of these products that you saw me test out, which was your favorite and which was your least favorite? I would just have to say, like, the color matching and stuff on like the foundation and concealer wasn't really my favorite, but the finish of them was great. I think I may have just found a new favorite bronzer. This bronzer is great. But I have like a few least favorite products. One being this mascara. Honestly, like travel size and full size, I believe, are two different like things. They're two different formulas. I don't know, but this mascara just didn't give me like the length and stuff that I remembered the travel size or trial size having. I'm not a huge fan of like eyeshadow primers that aren't concealers. It's just personal preference. And then for favorites, besides like the finish of like the foundation concealer, this glow is just like melting into the skin and just giving you that wet look. Might have just found my new favorite single highlight. So I would say I found some new favorites. Maybe some misses, not entirely sure yet. Still have to play around with them. But yeah, other than that, I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.